Tamiscal High School is one of the only schools in the Bay Area for students who have unique opportunities or challenges in their lives, but who also want a rigorous high school education. Today we will hear from two seniors about their experiences at Tamiscal. Why did you choose to attend Tamiscal?
I started Tamiscal freshman year, and I think it was about second half of 8th grade, I got really sick, and I was homeschooled second half of 8th grade, and by that time I started thinking about what I wanted to do in high school, and the bigger schools didn't really meet. I had a lot of stomach problems and I couldn't really function through a whole day of school, and so I had an interview with Corbett in 8th grade, and then so I started freshman year, and my plan was to come here freshman year and possibly go back to TAM, but after freshman year with Patchen, I really liked it, and I decided to stay.
Are there any activities that you've been able to do since you're at Tamiscal?
Yeah. So also freshman year, it kind of just happened naturally. It wasn't really connected to Tamiscal, but I started coxing at Marin Rowing, and it takes up a lot of time, even though it's after school. It takes up a lot of times, traveling on Fridays or races on the weekends, and so it's kind of Tamiscal has allowed me to have a little bit more time for that.
Very cool. Do you have any plans for what you want to do after you graduate?
So I've committed to Cal.
Wow.
Yeah, and I plan to row there in college.
Very cool. What will you take away from your time at Tamiscal?
I think most importantly, Tamiscal has taught me to be really organized and self-motivated. I think without Tamiscal, I wouldn't really have learned how to structure myself academically and learn the resources of how to manage my time wisely, and I think that will really help me in college.
I came to Tamiscal from Drake High School for my senior year because there was two major problems. The first major problem was the fact that I was at a school where I would be devoting hours and hours to being there and being in these multiple classes for multiple hours every week, when I had a full-time schedule of acting jobs outside of school that I could not balance with that. I'd be having to try to make special schedules with my teachers, asking them if I could get more free periods or find ways to miss certain classes, to go to auditions, to go to gigs, to go to shoots, to go to rehearsals. And it ended up working better for me to have a schedule like this, where it's flexible, where it's based around what I wanted. The total thing that pushed me to it was the fact that there's a bunch of very good acting jobs in youth companies. I don't mean youth companies as in companies that just cast youth performers. I mean companies that are made and that are formed for the benefit of youth. Companies like Kaiser Permanente Theater, New Conservatory Theater, stuff like that. I could never do those companies going to regular school schedule because they always rehearse and they always perform during school hours because they're meant to be done for schools. They're meant to be done for kids being educated. So this year, since I joined Tamiscal, I've been members of two of those companies, and they're full-time paying jobs. They're some of the best jobs you can have in the area because of the nature of them. The second reason I came to Tamiscal was the social situation. The fact that at Tamiscal, you only have to be exposed to a certain amount of people. And in the acting world, I'm meeting hundreds of people, and I'm having to remember their names, remember their favorite food, their pet as a kid, all these random things about them, because that's how networking works. That's how marketing myself as an actor works. It's about making myself as personable, as likable to all these directors, all these casting directors, all these producers as I possibly can. Here, I can take a break. I can stop worrying about how I look, how I portray myself. I can be myself around here because there's not many people for me to offend, for me to alienate with my nature. When I'm doing that in the acting world, that's how you lose jobs. That's how you don't network. That was that I would be going straight from school to rehearsal every single day. And I didn't even realize how much of a problem that was until I came here and realized I need this time because I'm doing better work now. I was doing terrible work back at Drake, but here I'm doing better work because I actually have the time to think about it, focus on it, and put my effort into it and actually care about it. This is the first time I've really cared about my schoolwork. And along with that, I'm able to practice other things. I'm able to practice skills that are time consuming but are helpful for actors that I would not be able to have at Drake. Something like I've become better at things like dancing, juggling, singing, stuff like that, which just takes a lot of hours of practice, which I didn't have at Drake. But I have more hours of time while I'm here. And writing plays, writing stuff, writing my own work, because that kind of stuff that's how actors get work nowadays, is by writing it for themselves. And I've been able to actually start doing that for the first time ever while I'm here because of that extra time I have.
And so after you've been able to have this time to write your own work and act a lot more and have more opportunities, what do you plan to do after you graduate from Tamiscal?
After I graduate from Tamiscal, I plan to spend 2 years at the local community college, College of Marin. They have an amazing drama department. You wouldn't expect much from a community college drama department, but as somebody who's been exposed to the Cal Arts drama department and the UCLA drama department through family members and through programs, I've noticed that College of Marin stands among those professional departments. They stand among those departments that call themselves art schools. College of Marin has this fantastic program. I'm going to go there for 2 years and then try to transfer somewhere. My, of course, first choice is Juilliard, but then after that is things like Yale, Harvard, ACT, Emerson, all those different really high-tier acting colleges that would be very difficult to get into going straight out of high school, especially a high school that is not focused in arts education like Tamiscal or Drake. But with 2 years from a junior college that has a great art program, they are not very far out of my reach.
Tom, I haven't said what I had in mind to ask you.
Mother, I'm already too late.
Down to the warehouse. Aren't there some nice young men?
No.
There must be some.
Mother!
Find out one that's clean living, doesn't drink, and ask him out for sister.
What?
Her sister, too.
Oh, my
acquainted.
gosh.
Will ya? Will ya? Will ya?
After hearing from Mika and Nick about their personal experiences at Tamiscal, I hope you can see that Tamiscal's unique structure allows students to have the opportunity to explore their interests both inside and outside the classroom, in ways that could be more challenging in a traditional high school setting. If you are a prospective student or a current Tamiscal student, I hope you will be inspired by Mika and Nick's motivation to pursue their passions and go after your own.